Hey everyone, welcome to How to Burn More Fat While You Sleep, the step-by-step system to increasing your metabolism. My name is Reese Margan. I'm the founder of Spiral Up Fitness, and basically we specialize in fat loss and female fat loss, and basically teaching and educating our clients on how to improve their body composition, increase muscle, lose fat, and all round, reshape their body and get the goals and the body that they desire. So this webinar is about increasing your metabolism, and as it said, it's burning more fat while you sleep. There's quite a few factors that come into being able to do this, and what we're going to cover today basically is what the metabolism is and quick and easy ways for you to raise the metabolism that you might not have ever heard of or you might not have thought of doing. This webinar is not about teaching you how to calculate your calories or anything like that. We have another webinar which, if you stay till the end, I will give you access to, which will teach you how to calculate your calories, your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats, exactly how much energy you need for the day, and also teach you how to write up your own meal plans with foods that you're actually going to enjoy eating, so that you can create that sustainable long-term fat loss. So we're going to cover boosting the metabolism today. Why do you need to boost your metabolism? Well, there's a lot of people out there that complain that they can't lose fat because they've got a low metabolism. Of course, this isn't really a it's not really supported by evidence. There are differences in metabolisms due to genetics, but they don't vary all that much in terms of genetics. Now, a metabolism is not static, and yes, there are ways to manipulate the metabolism up or down in order to achieve a body composition result. What I mean by body composition is basically the body fat percentage that you have on your body and the lean muscle mass that you have on your body. Improving body composition means losing fat, building muscle, basically. So there are ways to raise and lower the metabolism, and a lot of people eat very low calories for a long period of time and lower their metabolisms, and then wonder why they can't lose any more weight, because what they've done is put themselves in too much of a calorie deficit and basically lowered their metabolism, which stops them burning the energy that they need to burn and stops them burning the fat that they need to burn because of that. So here we're going to talk about raising the metabolism and getting you the results that you deserve. So look, just a quick little background on myself, just for a little bit of clarity for everybody watching that doesn't know who I am or what Spiral Up Fitness is or what we do. Look, my name is, as I said, Reese Margan. My background story is basically drug and alcohol addiction. I basically destroyed my own life by as I said, getting addicted to drugs and alcohol and going in a downward spiral and hitting rock bottom. And it was health and fitness that allowed me to get back up out of that allowed me to focus on something positive in my life for once, and really turned my life around completely. And once I had got away from the drugs and alcohol, I realized that I turned my life around through health and fitness. This is what I want to do with my life now, is I want to help other people be able to turn their life around through health and fitness. So look, I started studying, and I created Spiral Up Fitness, which derives from my downward spiral into drugs and alcohol. The name derives from that, but also wanting to help people spiral back up out of the rut that they may be in with their health and fitness in their life. So founded Spiral Up Fitness with basically the sole purpose to help people increase their health and fitness, but ended up specializing in fat loss, and really specifically female fat loss, even though there's not really there's really no difference between male and female fat loss in how you achieve it. But we specialize in female clients because it's a lot more rewarding for myself. to help a female lose 10 kgs as opposed to a male. There's more emotional attachment to the body image, and it's just more rewarding. And females seem to be a lot more grateful, when you help them lose that fat. So that's why we specialize in female fat loss, and that's sort of how the company Spiral Up Fitness came along. We've helped our clients lose over a ton combined in the last 2 years. And we've got like 40-50 clients at the moment that are getting amazing results. So a lot of these techniques are tried and tested, and I hope you guys enjoy this webinar and can get a bit from this. Look, it's not going to be too long, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and just explaining, not too much in depth, but giving you a brief outline of I think 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 things that you can do to boost that metabolism. Cool. So first and foremost, what we first need to know is, what is a metabolism, right? So metabolism is basically the amount of, if we put it basically enough, it's the amount of energy that your body burns on a daily basis. Okay, now this is made up by a few different factors. So, for example, your BMR, if you see there, is the amount of energy or calories our body would burn per day if we didn't move a muscle. It's called your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so if we were to lie in bed all day and not move a muscle, this is how many calories your body would burn, right? And it's 60% of your whole daily caloric burn. So this is what equates for most of your caloric burn. It's your body, pumping the heart, and the liver detoxifying, and everything moving around your body, and all the chemical processes that have to happen in order for you to stay alive, right? Growing hair, etc., etc. So your BMR is 60% of your daily calorie burn. You've then got NEAT, N-E-A-T, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Sounds a bit complicated, but basically what that is just any exercise or activity that is not directly related to you working out. So, for example, somebody who has to walk to work, right? That's neat. Somebody who has to go up 10 flights of stairs to get to their work, that's neat. Bending over, standing at a desk and standing in the kitchen and making dinner. Like these activities where you're not thinking about working out, or the sole purpose of it is not to work out, is 15 to 50% of caloric burn for the day. Now, 15% would be somebody, for example, who is sitting at a desk, who has a desk job and sitting at a desk all day, whereas 50% might be somebody who works in a store, a storeman, storewoman who walks around and picks things up, puts them in boxes all day. So if you have a physical job, it actually makes it a hell of a lot easier to lose fat than if you work a sedentary job. Okay, thermic effect of food is 10 to 15% of daily calorie burn. All right. Basically, what this is how many calories your body uses to digest your food. Simple. And exercise activity thermogenesis is your exercise, you're working out. Yeah, 10 to 12%. Now, I know all those percents add up to more than 100, but that's as they average out around about 100. Cool. So altogether, all of these things put together creates your TDEE, or your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, the total amount of calories your body burns on a daily basis, right? So the metabolism is your BMR and how many calories your body burns, basically, you could say at rest. And the other factors combined create your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. How many calories you burn total in one day. All right. Okay. So how fat loss occurs in the body. So you need to be in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. What that means is you need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. So, for example, if you're burning 2,500 calories per day, based on your BMR, NEAT, thermic effect of food, and EAT, so you're burning 2,500, you need to be eating around 2,000 calories a day to begin to lose fat or to lose weight, all right? And then what your body does is it obviously taps into your fat stores on your body to get that extra 500 calories of energy, okay? Cool. Now, as I said, we're not going to massively go into how to create a calorie deficit with food and how to write up your own meal plans in this webinar. I have another webinar that legitimately gives you a step-by-step system and on how to do that yourself. So if you stay to the end, or if you are on my YouTube channel right now, if you're watching a recording of this, simply I will. You'll see when you get to the end, you'll be able to follow through with that. Cool. Okay, ways to increase metabolism. Do high intensity interval training, lift weights, build muscle, eat more protein, eat real food, drink water, drink green tea, and increase NEAT. Cool, so we're going to go over these in a little bit more detail and just help you understand how you can use these 7 techniques to increase your metabolism and really start to burn more calories per day so that you can burn more fat while you sleep. You know, basically, that's the key, is to be able to put yourself in a calorie deficit. And one way to do that is not to reduce food, but to increase your metabolism. Wouldn't that be nice if you were able to start losing weight without actually having to cut your calories in the beginning? And that's really the key to it all in the beginning. Cool. High intensity interval training. So a lot of people get this mistaken, and forgive my design skills on this PowerPoint, right? I mean, it's not supposed to be pretty, it's supposed to be informative. So I put one picture on slide 2, and then didn't end up putting any others on. But I know the information that I'm giving you guys is going to really help with increasing that metabolism and hopefully, start burning some fat for you without having to cut your calories in the beginning, which would be awesome. So, high intensity interval training. People think they're doing HIIT, what we call HIIT, high intensity interval training, but they're really not. There's a difference between training at a high intensity and doing high intensity interval training. High intensity interval training basically requires all out effort, 100% effort, and the ratios range from 1:1 to 1:4. So for example, you could do a 30-second sprint with a 30-second rest period. Cool. And then 30-second sprint, 30-second rest period. And what it's designed to do is push your body to the absolute limit. If you're doing HIIT correctly, you will feel like dying the whole time you're doing it. And then obviously a 1:4 ratio would be, if you're doing a 30-second sprint, you're having a 2-minute rest. And so 1:4 is easier. 1:1 is very hard, and then you can even go into, I guess, 2:1. 15 seconds on, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, that sort of thing. So, why it's so effective is because the post-workout calorie burn, far surpasses low-intensity calorie burn. It could be up to more than 100 calories over 24 hours for high-intensity interval training, as for what you would get, we're going for a 5-kilometer run for 30 minutes. If you did HIIT for 15 minutes, you're going to burn a hell of a lot more calories. It just allows you to raise your metabolism because of, it's what we call EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Basically means how much oxygen you intake after the workout will determine how high the calorie burn is. And when you push yourself to the limit with HIIT, it increases your EPOC and your calorie burn. If you're doing sprints or that sort of thing, it actually stimulates muscles similar to weight training. And you can actually build muscle from sprinting hard out. Look at sprinters. Look at marathon runners. They're skinny as a rake. And look at sprinters, and they're very built. They're very muscly and cool. That also allows you to use more fat for workout fuel. So implementing high intensity interval training into your week can be an awesome way to boost that metabolism. Cool. The king of metabolism boosting. Lifting weights. Cool. Similar to high intensity, but what it allows you to do is basically, it's more calorie burn over a longer period of time. Like, you may burn more calories in a 1-hour cardio session than you do with weights, but over the extended 24 to 48 hour period, you're actually going to end up burning more calories due to the damage that weights do to the muscle and what that's going to take to repair, and also just the increased EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Not only that, it it stimulates your muscle. Just doing cardio is a great way to lose weight, but you might lose 10 kilos and 5 kilos of that might be muscle. So lifting weights will actually reshape your body and allow you to lose the fat around the muscle, and keep the curvy look if you're a girl, or the thicker look, more defined look if you're a guy. Cardio is beneficial when used in the right areas, but simply for weight loss or fat loss, just doing cardio can be a detriment to your muscle, and how much muscle you retain. Cool. And lifting weights obviously builds muscle, which is a real key of being able to burn more weight, burn more fat. So lean muscle burns more calories at rest than basically fat. Somebody who's 60 kgs and very muscly might have this is generalizing, but let's say a 60 kg male who's got 30 kgs of muscle on him is going to burn a hell of a lot more than a 60 kg male who's got 10 kgs of muscle on him, up to 500 calories more per day, right? So 1 kg of muscle burns 15 to 25 calories. Okay, so 10 kgs of extra muscle can burn up to 250 extra calories per day. So building muscle is a key factor in long-term sustainable fat loss. If you're just going into the gym and getting on the treadmill and just burning calories for the sake of burning calories, the chances of you getting to your desired physique are not very high, because you're not increasing your performance and you're not actually increasing your body's ability to burn more calories on a daily basis. And the real key is to lift weights at a high intensity, like heavy weights, to build muscle and lose that fat around there as well. Cool. Eat more protein. So protein has a much higher thermic effect, which means what it does is it uses more calories to digest itself. Okay, so for example, let's say you eat 100 calories of protein. If, for example, your body can use up to 30 of those calories that came from that protein to actually digest, right? So a higher thermic effect, it means it increases thermogenesis more when digesting, all right? So yeah, sort of hard to explain, or it's not hard to explain, but hard to wrap your head around. If that 100 calories of protein is ingested or eaten, your body's going to use 30 calories digesting that. So really, you only got 70 calories. So eating more protein or a higher protein diet is a great way to increase the thermic effects from the food, which remember equates to 10 to 15% of our total calorie burn per day. So you could probably burn up to an extra 50 to 100 calories a day by increasing the protein in your diet, just eating a little bit more protein. We also need to make sure that you consume a sufficient amount of protein per day, so that when you are in a calorie deficit and losing weight, that we maintain the muscle. There's a difference between weight loss and fat loss, right? Weight loss can be muscle, water, fat, whereas fat loss is simply just fat loss. And we must consume a sufficient amount of protein so that we don't lose any of that muscle whilst losing weight. Cool. So as I said, protein can burn up to 30% of the calories ingested, whereas carbs is around 5 to 10% for carbs and fats. Cool. Okay. Eat real food. Non-processed. Okay. Think of processed foods as being pre-digested. So, for example, like white bread. Let's say you eat white bread. I mean, this is a pretty generalized comparison, but let's say you eat 100 grams of carbs from white bread, okay, compared to 100 grams of carbs from sweet potato. The sweet potato is going to use a lot more calories. Your body's going to have to use a lot more energy to digest that sweet potato because of how dense and unprocessed it is. It's got a lot of other things in it that need to be broken down to make sure that it passes through your system efficiently. Whereas the white bread is basically already there itself. It's already been refined and processed quite a lot. So your body doesn't have to use as much energy to really process that sort of food. So by eating whole foods, dense whole foods, you can increase your calorie burn per day, maybe by 50 to 100 calories. Whereas if you're eating processed food, it's just not going to be as high. Now, obviously, all of these things separately don't seem like much, but if you were to do every single one of these every day, you're looking at being able to increase your metabolism by 500 calories a day. Like, imagine that. Imagine instead of having to cut calories at the get-go, you just increase your metabolism by 500 or more, simply by following little tips like this, little tricks, right? Drinking water and green tea. So, drinking 2 liters of water can raise your metabolism by 50 to 100 calories. All right. Your body has to, especially cold water, your body has to warm it up and process it, and will just allow you to burn a few more calories as well. Cool. Now, green tea extract is an antioxidant. It's a natural fat burner. As I said, for best results, supplement with green tea extract, but it increases your 24-hour energy expenditure, increases the body's key fat burning hormone, prolongs thermogenesis, provides powerful antioxidants, supports a healthy immune system. A lot of that is just gibberish, right? But the key is that green tea is a natural fat burner, and it can stimulate your metabolism by up to 4% a day. So get in. Green tea is awesome. Get some extract if you want. If you've ever tried green tea times 50, that stuff is great for fat loss, but only, of course, with a balanced calorie deficit as well. Cool. And last but not least, you want to increase NEAT. Remember, it's your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which equates for 15 to 50% of your total TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Apart from our basal metabolic rate, this is what attributes to most to our overall calorie burn. This is one of the best ways to, I guess you could say, indirectly raise your metabolism or indirectly burn more calories, because during your day, you perform, it depends on what work you have or what you do, but you perform a lot of different activities, and you might drive to the train station and then get a train to work. Whereas you could maybe walk to the train station, and then on the train you could stand up all the way instead of sitting down. You could walk or bike to work. You could ask for a standing desk to get your work. Maybe you're in a job where you have to pick things up off the ground. Instead of bending at the hip, squat down to pick these things up, right? So this is what we call non-exercise activity thermogenesis. If you basically make every activity during your daily processes harder, and you work to make sure that every time you do something, you're going to be burning more calories when you do it, it's really the easiest way to increase your caloric burn, because it doesn't really feel like a massive amount of exercise. But over your 8-hour day at work, if you're performing one activity over and over and over again, if you just make it that little bit harder, 1 or 2 calories harder every time, 1 calorie harder every time you have to bend down and pick something up. Imagine if you have to pick up 100 things, 200 things off the floor. I'm not sure what job this would be. Maybe you're picking flowers or something, right? But imagine instead of bending at the hip, you squatted down to pick it up, and let's say 1 calorie extra every time you squat down. Like, imagine the calorie burn at the end of the day. So increasing NEAT is probably one of the most effective ways to increase your caloric burn or your metabolism for the day. It doesn't really increase your metabolism. It increases your caloric burn, which equates to burning more fat while you sleep. All of this together, if you were to apply all of these things, is an easy 500 to 700 calories extra per day that you can burn without having to cut your current calories. So imagine you're eating 1,500 calories right now and you're not losing any weight. Start doing all of these things and maybe bump your metabolism up 500 calories and see what happens. It's not hard to apply these strategies each and every day to make sure that you do achieve what you want to achieve, because it's how important is it to you to achieve your goals? How important is it for you to lose 10 kilos? And look, it's obviously not just about losing the 10, 20, 30 kilos. It's about what losing that 10, 20, 30 kilos does for you. You know, it's about being able to run around with your kids, or being able to have the confidence to go out in public and act who you want to, and you know, be who you really are. It's about being a role model for your kids and being able to, you know, run around with them and just live your life the way you really want to live it without having to worry about your weight. You know, these strategies are not hard to apply, and this is one of the easiest ways to, as I say, indirectly lose more fat. By indirectly, I mean to say that you're not really largely focused on just burning more calories or doing more exercise. You're using things that you're going to do during the day anyway to up your metabolism a little bit more and really just experience more fat burn. So look, I hope that helped, guys. Just a short one today, but it really is an awesome way for you to increase your fat burn and really get more results out of what you're doing. Cool. How to put yourself in a calorie deficit, right? Probably the most important thing when it comes to losing fat. If you do all of this stuff and you're not eating in a calorie deficit, you're simply not going to lose fat anyway. So some couple of free resources for you. So if you're watching me right now, flick me a message, okay, and ask for ask for the fat loss system, or the fat loss system video, or the fat loss ebook. Okay, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, add me on Facebook right there, Reese Margan, and message me. I'm easily contactable, and I will send you through these free resources straight away, right? To learn how to create your own meal plans with your exact calories needed for the day, and basically start achieving those results that you deserve. Yeah, look, I hope that really helps some people tonight. You know, it's what we apply in our business, and I think if you start to apply these things during the day, look, you don't have to do all of them bang on all at once. Start implementing one every now and again, right? And just slowly build up to doing them all. I would start with increasing your need. Yes, start doing more in your day. Just start moving more. Whenever you have the ability to burn more calories, do it. If you're waiting in line, do 15 squats. If you're on the phone, stand up and walk around, like that sort of thing, yeah? So start with that. And look, if anybody wants to reach out to me on Facebook for anything, like I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely love providing value like this. Like I do this for free. This is a free webinar. Like I do this to help you guys that are watching. And girls, of course. Guys is just another generalization. But yeah, the males and females watching right now, like, don't feel like you can't reach out to me and ask me anything. You can reach out to me and ask me anything you want about, not just about health and fitness, but, you know, mindset, anything that you feel I could help you with. Reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. Right? That's why I'm put on this earth, to help people live healthier, happier lives. So look, I hope everybody enjoyed that webinar. Okay, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed delivering it, and as I said, reach out to me if you need help with anything. I hope everybody watching this has an amazing evening. And if you are watching this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a whole lot of other videos on there. If you go to my webinars, you'll see a mindset webinar, the fat loss webinar, and how to put yourself in how to align your psychology for long-term fat loss, like all of these sorts of things. So if you are watching this on YouTube right now, subscribe to my channel and check out my other webinars on there. I've also got a few other videos in there that can really help with, you know, your fat loss, your health and fitness journey as well. So look, everybody have an amazing evening. And if you're watching a recording, I hope you have an amazing morning, lunchtime, whatever, wherever you may be watching this. Thank you guys. See you later.